You may have heard that physics is a difficult subject. While this may be true, it's probably not as difficult as you may think it is. What I mean by this is many students tend to make things more complicated than they need to be. They often overthink the problems and miss what is right under their nose. Physics is all about problem solving. The key is to break the problems down into individual parts, to really understand what is being asked for, and to focus on how that answer can be found. It's important to know what you have to work with and what you need to find. The only problem is this model can be difficult to grasp at first. I hope to help you out along the way with this process, while also explaining each of the concepts in a simple but detailed manner. But before I get into this, I'd like to take a little time to explain what physics is and some of the basic knowledge needed to succeed. Physics is the study of how the universe and things in it behave. It tries, and succeeds at least to a useful degree, in describing the motion and conduct of objects through space and time. The pendulums you see in this video are all behaving according to the laws of physics. The lengths of the pendulums are directly related to the periods at which they oscillate. The longer the pendulum, the longer it takes for it to swing from one side to the other. With the right calculations, the motion of each pendulum can be matched in such a way that the patterns you see here start to emerge. While this video happens to be programmed, the same calculations work in real life, and these pendulum machines can be built. I'll put a link in the description showing one made of billiard balls. This is a simple example of the power and beauty that the knowledge of physics gives. Now, as you begin your journey along the path of physics, you will start to notice that in physics, a lot of words are used in very specific ways. It is important to not get too hung up on previous notions of these words. Take the words space and work as examples. Space in physics is more of an abstract concept. It depicts how objects can exist with volume, and it gives objects position relative to one another. It's not just outer space, the space between objects, or the space that objects take up. It's all three of these things combined. Work, which will come up soon, can be related to the familiar meaning of work, but has a mathematical definition that denotes a certain type of energy that is given or taken from a system. This can be counterintuitive in certain situations. System here means all the objects you may be focusing on during a particular problem. As you can see, even explaining the slightly different meaning of these terms causes me to use more terms that are new or at least used in a slightly different way. This is why it is very important to become familiar with these terms and to bring them into your vocabulary precisely. It is very difficult to get around them because without them, explanations would become very wordy. I will do my best to lay out these terms and repeat and explain them as I continue with these videos, at the risk of becoming too repetitive, as they are an essential part of understanding how to solve physics problems. Physics is a fascinating subject that I really enjoy studying. It's all about solving problems in new, often counterintuitive ways. This can make it difficult, but also very rewarding. Once learned, it allows for all sorts of great insights into how things happen. From objects flying through the air to how magnets attract and why hot air balloons float. I find physics fun, and I hope you come away from this with an enjoyment of it too. Just remember, throughout this course, to keep it simple.